Hi, Alyssa.
Hey, Katie.
Hi, Kim.
Hey, girls.
Okay, we have another guest in the studio, and I'm going to let Alyssa
Introduce
you. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm really excited to introduce Kim. So Kim and I are not in the same marketplace, but we were under the same umbrella of companies, and we have sent many referrals to each other.
We have.
And we, for the last few years, have done a very short couple of days working trip together.
We do. Same time every year.
Yes. Where we leave our children and we enjoy drinking out of our own cup that nobody else comes and slobbers all over.
I think that's the first time we went. I texted you one summer and said, will you take a trip with me where I'm the only person drinking out of my cup?
Yes.
That's an interesting qualification.
When you spend time at all summer long home with kids or all the summer camps, all the things, drinking out of your own cup becomes
a luxury.
Yes.
Okay, fair. I love that.
And when we go on these trips, we tell ourselves, we are allowed to answer our phones whenever we want. We're allowed to pull out our computer whenever we need. It's not one of those trips where you're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I have to take this call.
No guilt.
That can be stressful. And there's a time and a place for a vacation without a phone, which is what we're going to be talking about today.
My favorite topic.
Yes, but Kim, tell us a little bit like the PowerPoint version of how you have evolved, how you started in your real estate career, and where you are today.
Okay. So back in 2013, we'll make it quick. I was working and living in Baton Rouge, got my real estate license, left my job July 19th of 13, and my family has Christmas in July. So the Saturday, went to my Christmas in July with the family. My uncle said, you're single, you don't have any kids, why don't you come back home with us to the Woodlands? I was licensed in Louisiana, but never practiced in Louisiana. So quit my job to do real estate on the 19th, moved to the Woodlands, Texas. On the way there, I met my current husband and then just kept on driving. And so worked there for 2 years. We dated long distance. And then once we got engaged, I'm from Acadiana, moved back to the Acadiana area in 2015. We got married, joined the brokerage that you and I are both a part of. At the time, we were not part of the same brokerage.
Right.
And then they rebranded us all under the same umbrella in 2020. Started there, and in 2017, a team then approached me and said, would you consider joining us? I said, no, I'm good on my own. I don't think I want a team. And so I'm sure there's people banging down your door. It was number one team in our area. They said, nope, if you don't want it, we're not hiring anyone else. And I said, well, let's think about
Don't
this.
be hasty.
Yeah.
So I tried it out, loved them, obsessed with them, and I now own the team.
Yes.
Team leader retired back in 2023. She was in the business since the 1970s.
Whoa.
Built an amazing, amazing group of top producers who love being together. It's an anomaly for the market, anomaly for any team. They always look and say, how do y'all do this? And if we give them the formula on how to do it, she started teams back in 2000 when teams weren't a thing. So a lot of trial and error to figure out how to get to where we are now. So in 2023, we let her retire under the radar. We didn't tell anyone. And then in 2025, we rebranded under my name.
Wow.
So it has been a fun ride of everything I thought I wasn't going to do. I didn't need to move to Texas. I didn't need to join a team. And now I own one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Community members, don't forget to add yourself to the referral list.
We are seeing so many referrals happening in the group and don't want y'all to miss out on this community benefit.
We have 49 states plus Canada covered.
Need someone in Hawaii.
Check your monthly newsletter for the referral list link.
If you aren't in community, we'd love to have you, especially if you're in Hawaii.
Join us at hustlehumblypodcast.com/membership. How did your people receive that? What, like your database?
Rebranding?
When the team went from that name, this old established name, to you.
They are so excited.
They are.
They see the branding around town, the number of text messages and calls I get with, I see you here. They are so proud of the growth. And we have a moving truck, so a team moving truck. So when clients use it and it's driving around town, we get those text messages with, I see you in a truck. I'm so proud. A client sent one this week, the little, the elf meme of, I know her.
Oh my God. It's so cute. Okay, so totally positive. I love it.
And it was time. It was Teresa Hamilton was the previous owner. Her generation and everyone that she had impacted over the years are at an age now where they're not doing as much real estate.
Yeah.
So our generation is up and coming, and they are excited about it.
I love that.
Do it with us.
Yeah.
That's fun.
They have a really good team structure for sure.
All right, we're not going to do an episode on teams, but since you're here, how many people are on the team?
5.
Okay.
Me, 4 other agents, and we have an assistant who's been with us for 16 years. We have a brand manager we hired this year, and I have an intern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nice little structure.
It's very good.
And with running a whole team and running a whole household and family and children, obviously you have learned that boundaries are important.
We try.
We try so hard, and it's not perfect, and it's impossible to use statements like, I will never answer my phone after 5 o'clock. And, all these absolute statements are hard, but we talk a lot about how agents treat everything like it's urgent. They don't know how to categorize urgent to this can wait until tomorrow morning, or I have to do everything to I can ask this person to do something. And the biggest reason that you're here is that you have taken 2 trips where you totally left your phone behind.
2 in this year. 2 in 2025.
So,
and now I'm addicted to everyone
also,
trying this.
The year of the team being in your name.
Yes.
And you're like, I don't need this phone.
Forget about this.
Let me just go.
It's so funny. There's an agent in our office, a solo agent, a top producer. And like 10 years ago, I called her, and we had an older gentleman in our office. And I called her, and he said, Missy's phone, this is Marion. And I was like, Mr. Marion? I'm like, did I accidentally call Mr. Marion? I said, I was trying to reach Missy. He said, she's on vacation in Italy, and I'm in charge of her phone. And I was like, no way. Like, this is so cool. And he was just taking messages, taking notes. He had instructions for what to do. And that was the only time I had ever really heard of someone doing that. But tell us, like, what inspired? How did you even come up with the idea to do this and then to get past the fear?
This was not my idea. No.
Whose idea was it?
I'm Holy Spirit driven. And so when Catholics do this thing called adoration. So meditation, quiet time, silent time, whatever you do. My time used to be 4 a.m. on Mondays because the world doesn't need me. My family doesn't need me. The world doesn't need me. There's no deals at 4 a.m. I did 4 a.m. on Mondays for about close to 2 years. I'm like, this is hard. So then I switched to, 6 a.m. on Saturday. So this is a 6 a.m. Saturday. The world still doesn't need me moment, quiet time moment. I'm sitting there just in the feelings, in the thoughts. And this has happened to me 2 or 3 other times in my life where something comes to me. And what came to me, this was 2 weeks before we were going to Turks and Caicos for my 40th birthday, end of January. The idea comes to me. And I'm like, no, like the idea was, leave your phone in the United States for this trip. And so I would never do that.
Right.
Why would I ever? So I make a list. I laugh it off. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then I realize, wait, I've done this before. I've done this exercise before. When I know it's not from me, let me lean in for a minute. And so in that time, in 5 minutes, I made a list of like all the reasons I could not travel. Like I have work, we'll have the kids home. I need to know where to eat. So I need to look on Instagram, the pictures. It's my birthday. I had a list of all the reasons why I was not going to do this. And by the time I left my quiet time hour and walked out, I had overcome all of those no's. And it hinged on one, if Leslie on my team will take my phone from me, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that. So then I was like, well, she's going to say no. So then this won't even matter. So I call and propose to her and she says, sure, I can do this. And that's where it all started. One Saturday morning, 2 weeks before the trip. And it ended in you're in real estate. Like we can't leave our phones.
Right.
When I'm on a plane, the team in the past, we've done this for years where I will forward my phone calls because you can do call forwarding on your cell phones. I'll forward them to Michelle, our assistant. She'll answer, lets whoever's calling know that we're at a listing appointment. They'll call back within, an hour or two. And we do. And nobody has any questions about where we were, what we're doing. And they don't, because when somebody needs you and they need you now and they get your voicemail and they're texting you and you're not answering and everyone's panicked.
Yeah.
We figured that out a long time ago. If you won't have access to your phone, just forward it to Michelle. This was different. This was, I can forward my calls, but we're so accessible by text message.
Yeah.
How can we figure out the text message? So I have to physically leave my phone, the entire phone, in the United States. So my husband, that's a time when I was walking a lot, like 10,000 steps a day. And he's like, you're going to go walking around Turks and Caicos. I won't be able to find you. Like he got me a burner phone, a flip phone that I never opened, now.
He just wanted to be able to call you.
If I left and had my phone, he wanted to be like, are you okay? And just walking alone in this foreign country. So and I knew too, that the girls were with parents, his parents or my parents, and that if they needed something, they could call my husband. He did have his phone.
Yes.
Was he worried? Besides you getting
he
lost.
didn't think I was going to do it. He thought this is this is another wild idea. She's never going to pull this off. Down to, he thought I was going to change my mind on the way to the airport.
Oh.
Because I had my phone with me on the way to the airport. Leslie on my team met me at the airport. I think it was like a 6 a.m.
You transitioned the phone at the airport?
At the airport, surrendered the phone over for phone and charger. Gave it to her and said, see you in a week.
And I would like to point out, knowing Kim, for all the people listening, you are probably already making 2 excuses for yourself. The first one is probably, well, I'm not on a team, so I can't do this. First of all, it can be any trusted agent in your office.
Find your bestie.
Find your bestie, your real estate best friend, and do it. And number 2, Kim enjoys her phone. Like, there are people out there that, I have my phone because I have to, but like, you do enjoy it. You like to scroll.
I scroll in the tub. It's my downtime.
Right.
Yes. So it's not like that's why your husband was like, there's no way. There's no way she's going to leave it.
For? Like your clock. I had no sense of time. I had to print my boarding pass like it's 1995.
Yeah.
I had to, I had to think ahead of all the things I may need my phone. It was my birthday.
Yeah.
I have to be able to tell these people thank you. No,
you didn't.
No, you don't.
Well, this is whenever I'm sitting at my desk working and my phone keeps distracting me. It's typically what I call the 4 C's. I need to I need to look up the contact information. So I had to pick up the phone and look for a contact. I need to use the calculator. It's on the phone. I need to check my calendar.
Yes.
Or I need to do calendar, clock, the calculator, and the contacts.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if I can eliminate the 4, like I'll put them onto my desktop. Like, duh, your computer has a calculator.
Yeah.
If you can eliminate all those reasons why you it is a work-related thing I'm doing on my phone, but then all of a sudden here I am on Instagram. I'm like, how did I get here?
The habit.
How
you
did
pick
I get
it up.
here? How did I get here?
Just picking up the phone and looking at the clock.
Yes.
And then you see the notifications.
Yes.
And then you see unless my phone is in another room, unless it's physically away from you, you're going to go down this rabbit hole every time.
Yeah.
We have no self-control.
So did Leslie come with you to the airport?
No, she drove to the airport that morning. She picked it up. And then now, fast forward to the end, whenever she brought it back to me at the airport, she could not get rid of it quick enough.
She's like, I'm done with this.
She said, I'm appalled with how, what did she say? Appalled with how, not approachable. I'll think of the word. She's appalled at how accessible I am.
Because people were constantly
all day
and
long.
night, like all the time.
Was it because it was your birthday?
The birthday was hard because that was the first day. So the first day we left,
she was getting all the birthday messages.
What was she doing?
She responded to them.
That's so cute.
Did she say, "Oh, this is Leslie. I'll tell Kim."
No, thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
When I got back, when we landed, and she brought my phone to me. We live an hour from our market, so an hour from the airport too.
Okay.
It took me 40 minutes to catch up.
Okay.
Because everything was on my phone. And I cracked up going back to the Tuesday messages of my birthday. I was like, I have to respond to these people. No, she had responded to all of it. It didn't matter what she said. It was,
I just needed a response.
Yes.
So who did you tell that you weren't going to have your phone? Your client? I mean, you never made a big announcement. Like, you didn't send out an email blast or post a big thing on social being like, I won't have my phone.
Travel for me is hit or miss. It's on a need-to-know basis.
Yes,
anyone that was maybe in a situation where we were looking and we were hardcore, like about to write an offer, or if we were in prayer negotiations in the middle of the contract, I may have let them know, like, hey, I won't be here, but Leslie is completely accessible.
Yes.
I had my computer. If she emailed, I was monitoring email in the morning. I'd open my computer, check email. My assistant was in my email. Leslie was in my email. I could tell. And she had Ross's phone number. So my husband's phone number. So if anything happened or came up, she could call him. And I think she called one time, and it was the very last day. And she said, I am so sorry, but you've got to take this over. Mm-hmm. And it was a divorce situation that I had been talking with them for probably 6 or 8 months prior. And it was coming to, like, we had to list. The judgment said they had to list that day, and this was the first time we had heard of it. So she's like, we handled it though.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But other than that, an entire week went by, where she handled. So I remember, was it your honeymoon, Alyssa, where it was like the appraisal didn't come in and you came in low and you got home, you're like,
what
did y'all do?
They were like, we negotiated and it was fine. So in 2012, and I had only been in the business for like 18 months at that point, so I was not near the volume I am now. But the difference is at that time, every transaction felt
was
like
so important.
Yes, was so important because I was so new and I worked so hard for that client. And I had a $72,000 short sale condo listed for sale that I had finally gotten under contract and left for my honeymoon. And Christy Laughlin, who at the time was an agent and is now actually working with Connie as our managing broker. But I just gave her my email password and she was in my email. And in 2012, international calling and texting isn't what it is today. So I didn't have an international plan. So my phone, once I got to where we were going, it didn't work.
It wasn't receiving calls or texts.
No, I had changed my voicemail to just say, I'm out of the country. If you need something, please email me. And my phone stayed in airplane mode. Every time I turned it on, it was just SOS, no service.
Anything.
So I just used it as a camera.
Yeah.
And you even bought a camera?
I used Ross's, which is a terrible, like, I don't know, what's the first iPhone out there? I mean,
Oh,
it's
my
just an
word.
old.
You're like,
and
this is no good.
When you look back, like, all the wonderful pictures of Turks and Caicos, they're just in my mind because they're wonderful. And I tell him, like, I'm going to go, the last day we were there, I was like, I'm going to go for a swim just by myself. I'll go on for 30 minutes and I'll come back. I have no concept of time.
Right.
He comes looking for me. It's been an hour and a half. We have a flight to catch. And I'm just floating off
just
in
swimming.
the ocean.
Swimming in the
I can't go to the
ocean.
beach and check I did buy a little Walmart kids like watch, like little $10 watch that my girls found last week. And like, wow, you never told us you had this. Like, I remember those days.
Yeah.
I needed that because mom left her phone.
Yeah. You needed to know the time. Clock.
Mhm.
Did you have a moment of panic at any point, like after handing your phone to Leslie?
You know what's interesting is the very first day, all in the airports, the habit. I saw the habit. I had a book sack on in the airport with, laptop or books, whatever I had. And the number of times I went to grab for the phone, if we were standing in line at customs or if we were at a gate or doing something, you grab for the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I got over that, it took about a day to get over that habit. And then by the end, have you talked to Leslie? Does Leslie need anything? So by the end of the trip, he's like, do you just want my phone? Like was I getting to the place where I just wanted that comfort back?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know if we can do this again. But I really was okay with what she was doing. I had gotten over the habit. I really enjoyed the trip. And you know how at the end of a trip, you're just ready to get home. And
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering, like, I could tell through email, everything was fine.
Yeah.
But you just want to go back to your creature comforts whenever you get back home. But it was amazing to know that not a single thing was missed.
Yeah.
No balls were dropped. Any
we
calls
think
that came through.
If we don't do it, nobody can. And it's just a reminder that asking for help and, trading off. And so many people ask, how much do you pay someone to help you when you're on vacation? And I remember we had like 4 of us in the office that when they went on vacation, we helped them. When I went on vacation, they helped me.
Yeah.
When I had maternity leave, they helped me. And like none of these people were ever really paid. It was like we were just collaborating
It's an understood. And the deal I made with Leslie was any new listings that come in while you have my phone, we'll co-list together. So the price range, we work all price ranges, but a lead came in, a referral from another agent for $1.7 million. That's not my price range. So this comes in, I'm like, whoa, guess we have to do this together now.
Yeah.
We will do this together.
I think that's great.
And then the second time when I went, left her my phone again in October, I opened up to the team. And I said, listen, I'm going to do this again. It was a silent retreat. I was local, but I needed to be able to leave my phone. Would anyone want, the team's like, no, we're not, unless he's like, give it to me again.
Nobody wanted it.
It's intimidating because it rings all day long and text messages all day long.
Okay.
And she did. And on that trip, 2 builders called. We took over 2 builders. So she now has all these listings with me from
That's amazing.
perfect payment there.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to do it for her too. She usually travels by herself, so it's not safe to not have any phone. But to repay someone, to give them this gift.
That's such a gift.
Of silence and not being accessible. And it's really special. I want everyone to do it.
What about personal calls? I'd always be afraid like the long lost ex-boyfriend from 20 years ago is going to like drunk text you or something.
And you know what? She would have drunk texted him right back.
Yeah. She'd be like, thank you for reaching out.
So would she just answer and be like, hey, this is Kim's phone, and then take messages for you?
So the way we did it the first time, I created a Google Doc of everything, where everyone was in their file. What was going on with buyers. Maybe you have the buyer that like you work with for 2 years, they disappear for a year, then I said, this person's going to
They'll pop back up.
Yeah, this will be when they come back.
Yeah, I gave her the rundown on everyone. And if she didn't know someone, I don't recall this happening, but she could have just texted Ross and said, hey, who's this? Like, okay, yeah, that divorce situation. Like, hey, what is this was not on the list.
I don't know what
am I supposed to do with this? But now the second time when I gave her my phone, we did it differently where she, in the notes app on the phone, she would, if somebody would call, she'd open up the notes app and start typing while they're talking. To where when I went back and checked my messages, I wasn't going to find a Google Doc to see where she found their name. And so when I could check everyone that called,
you just sort of checked it in real time.
Yeah, I did.
Of like when she received it.
And then, exactly. So this notes app just followed, it was like Friday. Here's all the calls you got Friday. Here's what they said. And also because I save everything to Dropbox on my phone. And so if somebody called and, talk about, hey, we're ready for a price adjustment, she can pull up that listing, all my paperwork on the listing, see where we are. She can have that conversation with them in real time. So my emails were coming through my phone calls were coming through, my text messages, but it's also where I was able to catch up and see where everything was.
Yeah. How did you feel? What was the time difference between the first time you did it and the second time you did it?
Last week in January and then first week in October. First weekend there. So I did a full week in January and then I did. And once you do it, I want to, then it becomes addictive. You want to do it all the time. We need to be able in this industry to step away with our families, with our children, on our own. We need to be able to sit in silence and do these things. Your senses come alive when you're not I could go to restaurants and look at what other people, ask them what they enjoyed eating there. Where do they enjoy, instead of Instagram telling me where I should eat and what I should eat. Yeah. It was one of those things where food tastes richer, colors are brighter, things are, because we don't hear those things when we have this distraction. We could walk through somewhere and having a lovely stroll in Turks and Caicos. But if somebody sent me a text message, I'm stopped. I'm going to want to look down. I'm going to respond to them. My mind's in a different place. And it's not in that moment of enjoying where we are.
Yeah. And I think this is perfect because her episode airs December 8th.
Oh, end of year.
We are approaching holidays. Kids are out of school. We're going to be spending time with family. Like, don't be that person that's just consumed by your phone the entire time.
Well, don't be afraid of it. Like we were just talking about, like just having the phone, the physical presence of the phone. Yeah. And I think the Apple Watches and all the things that give you notifications or tell you things. Like we were just talking about the Oura Ring. My Oura Ring does not tell me to do a thing. It gathers information from me. It doesn't vibrate.
You choose when you want to look at the information.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas the Apple Watches or the phones or anything else that's telling you it needs your attention in some form or fashion.
I find I'm more distracted when I'm with someone that has an Apple phone. I'm an Apple Watch.
Because they look at their watch.
They're trying to like do stuff on their watch, but it's too little. So it's a little bit more dramatic looking because they're trying to like zoom in and press things and they have it close to their face. And I'm like, dude, just get your phone.
Just get your phone. Watch whenever you're in a conversation with someone with an Apple Watch, their phone is put away, but their phone's going to ring or get a text message and we're in conversation. There's going to be that little pause where you can tell it's bothering them. They'll need to look at it. Take a minute to think of if they need to answer it or not. Yeah. And so it's like this delayed, this little pause in conversation where they have the Apple Watch. So I'm not as distracted, but you are. You're even more distracted because your phone would have just been easier.
So just a few weeks ago, I had a listing here in Baton Rouge where I had the sellers. And these sellers were Kim's clients in Lafayette. Buying in Lafayette with Kim.
Got it. Okay.
So I was selling their house.
You referred them to Kim.
I referred them to Kim.
Got it.
Kim's contract was contingent on me selling their Baton Rouge house. Okay. If I didn't sell the Baton Rouge house, it wasn't happening. Everything's ruined. And it almost got ruined a few times. It's been a long ride with this particular house. So I tell Kim, I'm like, hey, we finally got an offer. We're in negotiations. It's still very shaky. I don't know how it's going to go. So I'm keeping her posted. We're entering due diligence. And Kim messaged me and was like, hey, I'm going on a silent retreat for the weekend. I know you're negotiating. Once it all comes together, just text my phone. Leslie knows that once we get the all clear, she's going to write the offer on their new house.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. So sure enough, we got past due diligence and everything was solid. I texted Kim's phone. I knew it wasn't Kim. And I said, the McCoys are good to go and you can write the offer. And Leslie was like, got it.
And I come back and I have my list of updates and they're under contract on this house.
What a delight.
So I'm like, oh, great. Let me go. What'd y'all do? She's like, well, they wanted 0 days of due diligence. I'm like, they wanted what?
Yes.
You're like,
yes.
maybe not what I would have done.
Well, not what I would have done, but also they were very firm. And we have a previous inspection. We know this house. And it ended up being multiple offers. A home that was on the market from March. And this was October.
Oh, my
so it
word.
was something that they did not want to lose. And she did the right thing. She did what the client wanted her to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they had an inspection report.
They had a previous inspection. If I had put an inspection in there, would it have changed things? Maybe they wouldn't have gotten the house. It made their offer very strong.
Yeah.
And she listened to what the client wanted. She said they were very content. And so we closed it.
Did you compensate her on that one?
2 builders. We have
That's
the
the
listings. We have the one. So right now we have 3 homes that will be.
I see.
Yes. So the deal is not and if nothing had come through, I probably would have said, here's 25% of
Yes. Okay.
of this one. But our deal is any listings that come through, you're on it.
And I think that's a good point too, is that so we've been getting more questions in our inbox about compensating people that help you and how much is appropriate and what should I do? And I know that can kind of go off on another tangent, but no matter what the answer is, I just think it's important that they are setting that expectation up front, like so that there is no surprises on how much are you making any money? Is this just an opportunity thing for you?
Yeah.
Are you just being nice and helpful, or are you expecting payment? Like anything like that needs to be done up front.
And you have to make it worth. If it works out really well, you want them to want to do it again.
Yes.
You want them to want to take. You want to take care of their clients. You want them to want to take care of your clients while you're gone. Those relationships in our business. Several times today, I've attempted to pick up my phone to call my very first real estate bestie back in the Woodlands, Texas. Because when you find your person and you work like each other do, I fully trust 100% of what happens. Anything that comes through that call, she will handle it like I will. And I felt the same way about when I was in the Woodlands, the real estate bestie there. Your person doesn't have to be at your brokerage. Doesn't have to be. You just have to find who that person is and connect with them.
And make sure they would run a business the way you would.
That's, I think, the key.
Yeah.
And your clients are, because if they're a lot like you, the like attracts like, that your clients are going to like them too.
Yeah.
If you tell the ones that you do choose to tell, if you choose to tell anyone that that person's going to be taking over, they're going to go into this loving this because you're going to set them up. You're going to sell them, be like, look, she is better than this than I am. She's going to be on top of this. She has no kids. You need her to do anything. She's running over there to do it right away.
Yeah.
She's more accessible than I can be.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, okay. They don't realize they're getting someone that's just the substitute.
Right.
What would have happened if for the week you were gone in January if you hadn't have gotten any listings come in? Would you have compensated her like just a flat number? Like, did you have any thoughts or plans?
I didn't, but I think what would have been fair in that situation is like anything she put under contract, I automatically go to 25%. No, if she did this much work, a little bit of work or a lot of work, a straight 25% for her the time too.
Yeah.
The amount of time I don't even know how you put a number on. I'll pay you per call. I'll pay you per day.
Right. That's what I was curious. It worked
even
out fine because you did have some listings come in, and
it did. But you're right. I didn't think about if it hadn't. I was so delighted and excited that we had the 1.7 where here we go.
It worked out. Okay.
It's
interesting.
Hey friend, we just wanted to pop over and remind you of all of the freebies that we have on our website at hustlehumblypodcast.com/resources.
There are quite a few on there. They work for buyers and sellers, for your business, all different things you might need, and all for free. Alyssa, which one is your favorite?
My favorite freebie is the due diligence checklist.
Oh, that's a good one and so impactful for your buyers.
It's a great email template.
It's a really good one. My favorite is probably the staging checklist. I want my sellers to have those houses looking good.
Yes. So head over and see which ones you would like to download or get them all. Enjoy. So when you're in town, you also have some things in place for boundaries and keeping things at a certain time, and you have things in place that keep you in check with your phone as well.
I do. This is a work in progress.
Is it different since the trip without the phone?
It's as I hear about something or see something that may work for someone else, it's let me try that.
Mm-hmm.
And then what can I do with that process to make it stick for me?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, this has been probably, do you do it now? Have you heard about the brick?
So funny story. I'm actually bricked out right now, and I don't have it with me. So I went to go look up something for her, and I couldn't even open my Instagram.
She had to tell it to me with her voice. She's like, there was a reel.
You have to talk about, y'all, when was this? I did a different thing last year. This has been 2024, and for 90 days, and it was no social media. And whenever you would run into, like at a restaurant with girlfriends, they're talking. This was when, what's her name? The princess that had
Kate
cancer. Princess Kate had cancer.
Oh, okay.
Or she was dying.
Something weird was happening, and they were being quiet.
And at lunch, this went on for like, a week? And at lunch, they're like, have you heard about Princess Kate? I'm like, I haven't.
You're like, I know nothing.
The excitement for someone to tell you a story that I had no
You're like, I'm not in the know.
About. No. To not be in the know is really cool with connections with people.
Because people want to fill you in.
So the latest is, this has been probably 4 or 5 months in. I had this at the beach.
You had it at the beach,
It's the brick, where I can choose which apps. It is a physical gray little 2-inch square that I can physically lock myself out of whatever applications, whatever
apps
whatever
you
parts
choose.
of
You touch the brick with your phone to lock it. And unlock it?
To unlock it.
How do you start it?
You hold down
You hold
brick.
it down.
You hold down a button on the phone that bricks it. So
for
then
3 seconds, and then it's like, are you sure you want a brick?
Like,
And then it's because if you lose your brick, there is no getting back in. There is no
there's a couple of emergency but
you have a few emergency,
but once they're gone
attempts. Yeah, for your life.
Yeah.
So you have to use those sparingly.
I've been aware of it for a while.
Seeing it in action.
Yeah, you're the first person I've known to use it.
Yeah.
I needed productivity hours back.
Yeah.
And I needed to, so I have the time limits on my phone for social media. And then if I did 30 minutes a day, ignore.
Yeah.
Ignore.
I'll just ignore that. I'll just enter my own code to let myself back in.
It felt good to have the time limits, but I was just ignoring. So this, I had to physically find, so then I'm like, I'm going to buy a brick for my car. I'm going to buy a brick for my house. I'm going to buy a brick for the office. I'll have a brick anywhere I need. So I bought more, and I realized this is the point.
You're not, you
the
just
point
want
is
the one.
that it's not accessible.
Yeah.
So I gave those other two to other agents.
Yeah. Okay.
I leave it in my car. So at night you can set schedules. So at night I'll brick at 6:30 at night. And then sometimes I'm like, I've earned a tub scroll, so I'll unlock it and let myself tub scroll.
But you had to walk back to your car and touch it.
Because the deal is, once I lock it at night, when I get out of the tub, so there's no scrolling in bed. And in the morning when you wake up and you want to scroll, you can't. So if I go walk in the morning, I treat myself to scroll and walk. And that's it.
Okay.
And I lock it back. The brick has caused me to just, and I don't, my assistant, she's wonderful. She said, well, we're talking about, self-control and not going social media. She said, well, just don't do it. I'm like, that sounds so easy.
Yeah.
Is that what they do? Just don't do it?
Don't do it. She doesn't get on Facebook or anything, not her thing. She's like, well, just don't do it. I don't understand why it's a big deal.
What does she do? Does she have some hobbies?
No, she's in her 50s, so this was not her thing.
It's just not.
Whenever.
And I think it's wise, yourself. And you even said when you had your brick, you noticed how many times you didn't even realize that you had clicked on Instagram until it said bricked out.
You can't do it.
Yeah. And then you're like, why was I even clicking on this?
Red lights anywhere. Wait, if you have to wait any grocery store line, anytime you're waiting, we are.
And you don't even realize how much you're doing it. If you have 2 minutes to spare, you're like, oh, I'll just go scroll for 2 minutes. And it's just, you don't realize it until it's taken away.
What I've also done that's been a huge game changer this year for business and for boundaries is the send later.
Send later?
Send later for your text messages. Aware of it? Use it?
Yeah, girl, been doing that for years because I got an Android.
You got an Android. Here comes in.
This is where the Android has the upper hand.
Last night, I texted buyer. I did a response to inspections. I have the buyer. I sent it out during business hours. I noticed the wife had signed. It was our last day due diligence, so 11:59 p.m. I'm not staying up until 11:59 p.m. to make sure they're protected. So it's 7:30. I'm really tired last night. And so I texted husband, wife and said, hey, husband needs to sign. Just make sure you do it before 11:59 p.m. I'm going to bed. So great. Knocked it out. They did it then. Everyone's happy. The agent, you can tell, opens it and is in panic, freak out, manic texting mode. So I'm watching all the messages come through.
Oh, no.
And I don't respond to a single one. And I type out a text that said, "Good morning. Happy to chat about these with you. Give me a call this morning when you're free." And I set to send at 8:06 this morning.
Yeah.
And then by then, she said, "No worries. Got it under control."
Look at that.
Handled itself with a good night's sleep.
Most people will fix their own problem given
will.
enough time.
Mhm.
They will. And that was, so when I get home, I try to leave my phone in another room. I try to not open my computer if I'm at home. I can help it. If there's something I need to do if we're negotiating.
Mhm.
But setting those after, our team talked about this yesterday. After 7 p.m., 6 or 7, everyone's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And you can pick up where you left
The
off in the
lenders aren't
morning.
working.
Right.
They are,
Like the
everyone
banks,
is A-okay.
you know? And a few years ago, I remember you did sleep with your phone in another room and had an alarm clock.
I did. And I still have that.
Yeah.
So my 6-year-old, she gets it. Do y'all remember the meme that went around a while back that when you lay in bed with a cozy blanket, it's called like Herkle Durkle?
Oh, yeah.
Do you something? This is like probably
Yeah,
stuff like during
It's
Christmas
like
or
Norwegian
something.
or something.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
So we started over the summer. I have, my girls are 6 and 4, and the 6-year-old really struggled with, "You just love Murphy more than me." And it's like, so I was like, what do I need? I need to get more one-on-one time with her. So I've taught her every morning. She sets her own alarm, and she can come Herkle Durkle with me. Like this morning, I was already up and dressed and ready, and she was really been out of shape. We couldn't Herkle Durkle. This is her thing.
Oh, my gosh.
But when she lays in bed, I was like, "What time is it?" It's always, what time her alarm goes off. But she looks at that clock, that alarm clock that has not been changed for daylight savings time. That is
This is the wrong
and
time.
she's like, "I think you have to do math." It's like an hour and 12 minutes off, but
Oh
it's
my.
still plugged in my room where I would use now, and I go through phases with it by my bed or not. Because if I've been using the Libby app to download books.
Mhm.
And so if I'm reading a book on there and then not scrolling, I go to bed and just set it by my bed. But the send later just prevents me from feeling like I have to do anything when it comes in. I've turned off all notifications. So like if I tap my phone in the middle of the night, I don't see any text message. There's nothing on my screen.
Right.
And Allie on my team taught us to pin messages to the top for things that you need to, because I can't handle unread messages.
Yeah.
But if there's something that needs my attention in the morning that I can't send later because somebody in the group text doesn't have an iPhone, I pin it to the top.
Isn't that ironic, though? Because they could always send it later. And only Apple is punishing y'all.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay, so then you just pin them.
I pin them to the top. So yesterday I had clients who left. The movers didn't pack up all of their air fryer, like the cabinet in the kitchen that had
There's
the air
always
fryer,
one cabinet.
all the things
Got left.
So originally she's like, "Can you grab them?" This was like a year ago. "Can you grab them?" I said, "Sure." And they said, "Wait, the cost to mail these is just not worth it." Because it's like all the heavy appliances, all the heavy kitchen.
No.
So I believe I kept them somewhere in my shed, like to donate or whatever. So a year later, she texted. She's like, "We're looking at Black Friday sales. Can you check and see if you still have it?" So I pinned that, knowing that I need to go look wherever I think I may have put them
funny.
if I didn't donate them, and send those back.
That is crazy. Well, outside of boundaries and things like that, because you do a lot of volume and you're managing other people, what kind of systems do you have in place just to run your business in general? Like, do you use email templates that you have? Do you have like certain apps or automations that are helpful? Like, what are some of the things that keep you organized?
We do. I hired a coach last year who has been really good and helpful with like the balance. And with the coach, what we work on is having the balance with career, key relationships, physical health, spiritual, friends and family, all the things, to make sure there's balance in all those areas. So we're constantly looking at that and making sure that feels good for where we are. But she's also been huge in the operations of the business too. If we, like last year, we did a team retreat with her and everyone set their goals for 2025. So, and I'm not one, I've never set, that's the first time I've set goals. But then understanding, sure, we set this goal and then now what?
Right.
So she's been instrumental. And we did that retreat at the beginning of December. The team, they've never set goals either. They're all just, my old boss used to tell us, the old team leader, she's like, "I can't entice y'all to do anything. Y'all just, she'll give a bonus if whoever does the most, and she's like, y'all don't respond to it at all."
Yeah.
They are all top producing agents. And so to force them to be accountable to, okay, you said this is what you wanted your goal to be. That's where the coach came into play. And I was able to play off of, we do use email templates that I've set up for you're under contract from the buy side and the sell side. What happens there? What happens next? We have an assistant, and she's also set up the operations where the assistant was completely one assistant for 5 people. And we do about 225 transactions a year.
Yeah.
So one assistant was handling all of that. So we were able to look at their buckets of, okay, what is her job broken down into? Operations, transaction management, and marketing. So we were able to use those buckets to decide, okay, let's take the marketing bucket and hire out. That's where the brand manager came from. So we've set up meetings with the assistant and I every Monday morning at 10 a.m. where it's, let's talk about what happened last week. What do we have going into this week, to where she's prepared for the intern coming in with, we need these sign writers swapped out. What do we need? All the brochures we need made. What do we need dropped off? So not so much the apps and automation from that side, because right now our company's going through transition of software.
Yeah.
And so she'll learn all of that, and she'll tell us what we need to do it correctly. But it's helped because all of the team members on the team work differently and think differently. Just because the templates work for me doesn't mean it's going to work for them, or how they communicate with their clients. We laugh that if I get on the phone with a client, it's a 30-minute conversation. If Ileana on my team gets on the phone with a client, it is 2 minutes. She is very business. What do you need? And her clients appreciate that.
Yeah.
Where I'm going to have the whole story from everyone here.
Your vibe attracts your tribe.
That's
and you
it.
got to have like a
Different.
personality for each person.
You
Which I
do.
think is awesome.
I mean, very interesting.
It is very. Do you think you could do it?
I'm not have my phone. I would have to have a real camera.
Yeah.
Like I
So
would
if
have
you
to
had
have
the
a
real
legitimate
camera, could you
camera.
do it if you had the real camera?
I mean, probably if I had the real camera.
I've encouraged anytime I post about this, agents go wild. People in general go wild for, I wish I could. I'm like, but you can.
You can.
And I'm like, bring me your phone. Like I'm dead serious. Bring me your phone. I can take care for an afternoon.
Yeah.
Gift yourself even it's also a problem for us to think that we need to be this accessible, and that we need to be in control of everything.
Yeah.
That it's us or nothing. That's a problem.
It's very interesting because I have always, like, I leave my phone in my purse when I go to lunch with someone. I just, like, in the afternoon, if we go out in the backyard, I don't take it with me. Like, it stays inside. So I'm not that I'm not attached to it, but there are large spans of time where I am not responding to my phone.
Isn't connection so good in those moments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're it's not interrupted or distracted by anything.
At all. So, yes, while I have certainly seen a message or taken a call at a time, not ideal, I feel like I'm a little bit more on the side of, I have to bring it with me everywhere. In fact, sometimes my kids will find it somewhere and they'll be like, hey, here's your phone. And that actually makes me feel sad because they're like, I want to make sure you have your phone. And I'm like, but I don't actually need it right now. Like I left it and I wasn't looking for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's definitely something you have to be aware of.
Yes.
Yeah.
But leaving it and going out of the country would certainly make you much more aware.
Yes.
It does.
A lot
it
more
really
aware.
does. Alyssa, you going to try it?
I don't know. I think
Any
I could
desire?
do it. Maybe. But I also do think, first of all, I think I could do it. I don't know who I'd leave it with. Katie. We'd have to do it. I'd be like, Katie, we're just going to do it for a podcast episode. It'll be fun. It'll be for the podcast.
Do it for the podcast,
Do it for the
Katie.
podcast, Katie.
You're like, do your people
But
really
I will
want?
say the last year, I've had quite a year, and I have just gotten really good about being okay with making people wait. So my phone this year hasn't been quite as much of a burden when it comes to my work. Like, I don't get the heart flutters when I don't respond to someone right away. Like, when I see that they're calling at 7:00, I actually am not bothered to wait until tomorrow. Like, it used to be bothersome and would, like, I'd be like, I'm not responding. And it would be hard.
Yeah.
But part of it is, I think, because of I have buyer rules, and like we go over that when we do the BBA, same with the listing appointment. Like, over the last few years, it's like I have sort of trained my clients and set their expectations. So it hasn't been as much of an issue as I have run my business like a business. But I do think it would be I would be more enticed to do it just for social media, like not auto scrolling. And I've only been using the brick since we went to the beach like
but noticed the difference
2 months ago and noticed a huge difference.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think it's worth experimenting with. If you give up your phone for a day, if you buy a brick and lock yourself out of your phone.
You know, I have friends that have older children, like teenagers with phones, and they brick their children's phones during homework time from text messages from friends.
Mm-hmm.
So those notifications are not distracting them during homework. And they're like,
Yeah.
our kids hate it, so we know it's working.
Yeah.
But if you can decide what you want to lock each particular
Yeah.
phone out of,
Interesting.
and for however long, you can unlock it.
Just brings you back to real life.
Have you had any agent that you know actually take your lead and leave their phone behind?
Not that I'm aware. I think they think it's a joke. Like I think they all
like, this
want to
isn't
do
real.
it. They're like, you're not gonna. You're really gonna take my phone? Yes, I will. I 100% will take their phone. I can handle all of this. I can handle the call. I think it'd be fun if I picked up if another agent called,
Right.
and we wanted to what can we sell? And hey, what do you have coming up? And just. Lee Brown was in town this week, and one of the things she said about the new buyer rep agreement that she loves is that we're talking to each other again.
Mm-hmm.
That you're going to call and you're going to ask the commission, but while we're talking, we haven't talked in 20 years, but now we're going to actually talk real estate. It's brought communication back into the industry.
Yeah.
And times where we just went online to see what the commission was and never spoke to that agent ever. We sent them an offer, and then a lot of the tone of text messages and deals, or the tone of emails, or we're talking to each other again. So opening up the invitation for something like this, and I really think people think I'm joking, but I am 100% serious that everyone needs to experience something like this. Try it. And I even tell them, try for an afternoon. Fine, don't go out of the country for a week, but gift yourself an afternoon and see what happens, because nothing's going to happen that can't be handled. Because if someone passes away, you can't control that. If someone's hurt, you can't control. If the house burns down, you're not a firefighter. There's nothing you can do. It feels good to think that we're going to be the ones to save everything. Yeah. But that's not our place.
It's like that quote that says, don't dedicate your entire life to a business that would replace you in one day.
That's
if you
exactly
left.
what it is.
Yeah.
We are so replaceable. And we just think in our head that if we weren't here, no real estate would be sold and no deal would be done.
It has to be us.
Has to be me, but it just doesn't.
It just doesn't.
It just doesn't. It's kind of like deflating, but also in a good way.
But it's a pride, but they like me.
Right. But I am good at what I do. Yeah. So, and you kind of did it backwards, where the second trip was a 3-day weekend type of thing.
Yes.
And your first trip was how many days? A whole week.
She did more like a cold turkey vibe.
I did.
Yeah.
And it all stemmed from with that idea, and when I was sitting in silence, where I was immediately when it came to me, and I said, absolutely not. I think if we respond to those nudges and know that there's ideas that are coming to you from the universe, from wherever, telling you need to lean into this. And so I took a step back and said, wait a second, I know what I'm supposed to do right here. And then went through all the reasons why I absolutely could not leave my phone behind. And then did. Within 5 minutes, I figured out all the reasons how I could. And then did it. It wasn't even, and I had 2 weeks and the whole time, my mom and my husband both thought, she's not doing, there's no way. On the way to the airport, and he's like, yeah, you're not going to.
I really do love that you passed it off at the airport.
I did, and then picked it up. And she could not. She had it in a little gift bag with the charger, and she could not get it back to me.
Here you go.
Here's your life
keep
back.
Track of everything. It was hard for her. She did say that, because she's keeping track of 2 phones and which one's ringing and who need. That's 2 different places. Places where your mind goes.
Because she had her own business at the same time.
She did.
Okay.
We should interview her for her perspective.
Well, she did it the second time. So I said, I gave her some time to recover.
Yeah, a while.
You did.
Okay, that's fair.
So do you have plans to do it again?
I don't.
Not yet.
We don't have any trips planned. And we go on, if Ross and I and the girls go on a trip, I would take it with me. But this is one of those, I don't plan to.
You don't have to do this every time.
No, but things that I've done silent retreats before. I love silent retreats, and I would take it with me, and I would leave it in the room. So when we go into session and do what we need to, and then we go back to your room, I'm going to check my phone.
Yeah.
And I do know how that takes me out of that silent moment because even if it's something that I'm not going to call back, but I'm going to respond. My mind's in a different place.
You're communicating. Your mind is elsewhere. So good. Just a reminder that it's possible.
You can do it.
This was so good.
Did you bring a toast for us?
Well, who do we think it's going to be?
I couldn't begin to guess.
I think Leslie deserves a toast.
She really does. She's the true hero here.
does.
She has been, she is my go-to yes girl when it comes, she is down for a challenge. She joined our team. We were friends. We did LR leadership together in 2017.
Is that how y'all met?
That's how we met. 2 different brokerages.
But she was in your market?
She's in my market. And so we've known each other, remained friends over the years. She moved to the Woodlands for a year in the middle, got her all set up there and around COVID, and then came back. An amazing, amazing agent. And so when she approached me, it just made a year in October. So it's been October 24. We were figuring out how to grow the team, what we wanted to do, looking at what agents we want to recruit. And she came to dinner, like Ross cooked gumbo one night or something. And we're sitting on the floor playing Monopoly with Murphy, the youngest. And she said, if you ever wanted me to join the team, I would. And Ross from the kitchen just looks at me. I'm like, this is it. Okay, we're going to, it wasn't even a thought of absolutely yes, without a doubt, let's do this. And we did. And so she has been the yes girl for everything. Mm-hmm. It is really fun because she knows I'm going to be the same way.
Yeah.
So when I looked at the team at the table, no fault to the team, it's very intimidating for them when I say, hey, does anyone want my phone? I want to give someone the opportunity to want to be terrorized for a couple days.
Right.
But she said, but I always knew that if they said no, she would always say yes. And that's what she is. She says, so find your Leslie.
Well, cheers to
Leslie making 100%. This episode possible.
That's right.
Without Leslie, we've
got nothing.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, well, I'm inspired. Have a good Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Unplug your phone.
That's right. Unplug your phone.
Get a brick.
Thank you.
Get a brick. And your stocking. Those are great stocking stuffers.
Yeah, and they're inexpensive for what was it, $50?
Yeah, $50 a brick.
The kids, get the kids bricks for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might not consider that a gift.
No.
All right, goodbye.
Bye. Wait, before you go, if you enjoyed this episode and if we brought you value, take a minute to rate the show, leave a review, or drop a comment.
We are giving away our best stuff for free. Find it at hustlehumblypodcast.com/freebies.
We'd also love to see you in Hustle Humbly community. Join us there at hustlehumblypodcast.com/membership.
We love chatting with you in our DMs. Find us on social media at Hustle Humbly Podcast and say hello.
If you have an episode topic or someone you'd like to toast on the show, please email us at team@hustlehumblypodcast.com.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Hustle Humbly Podcast. See you next week.